I encourage people to do something called the 12 by 30. All right, so it's very simple, and it's actually not as unsustainable as people would think. You work 12 hours a day for 30 days straight, no weekends. By the last day, you realize, 1, you aren't made of glass. 2, how much more you could be working. 3, how much faster you could be achieving your goals. 4, how much you could be getting better every single day. 5, you don't need to work like this forever. But if you need to do it for a season or for a reason sometime in the future, you've got that gear in you. And 6, there are people who are working more than you who are beating you. And you get all of those lessons for the low price of getting more done in a month than you probably did last quarter. And so everyone, and like, of course, you've got one side of people who are like, I work more than this now. And of course they don't. They obviously don't. And the thing is that people are like, well, I work like that, but I take a couple of days off. Right. That's the point, is that you have to push through it. Now, can you work 16 by 30? Sure. If you want to, you're welcome to work more than that. Because I've found that working 6 to 6 is kind of like what I do every day anyways. I'm on 12 by 100, in terms of how I think about working. And there's plenty of days that I work 15, 16-hour days because I get here at 5 or 6, and then sometimes we have an event, sometimes we have dinner, things like that afterwards, and it ends at 9. And that's where you have to be on, not just at the office, not just in front of your computer, but people actually demanding things of you on a regular basis all the time, being on camera. And I'll tell you that there are levels to this. Like, working alone for a full day is not as exhausting as being on stage for a full day, being on camera for a full day, because every second that you are not peak, you are losing. You can take a break while you're working alone. You can't take a break when you're on stage, when you're meeting customers, when you're making content, right? Like every minute that is not recorded is basically a minute wasted. There's a whole team here behind this camera, right, that is making this stuff for you, and I'm costing them every second I'm not showing up. I remember there was a season of my life where I think I had like 9 straight months of this, and it was not 12, it was 15, 16, because I had to wake up at 4 to get to the gym, where I was at the gym, but I would wake up at 4, and then I would get the class ready. I'd open the gym doors at 4:30, would start the classes at 5. And the last class at night would end, it would be a 7 o'clock class, it would end at 8. And then at 8, I would then do billing. I'd reach out to old customers. I would confirm lead appointments for the next day, all that sometimes until 10, 11 at night. And then I'd wake up again at 4. And so I don't know what the hours are there, but it's more than 12. And I did that for 9 months straight. And I used to describe it as the kind of tired a good night's sleep couldn't fix. It was like, it was tired. It was deeper than like one sleep. I needed like weeks to like basically come back to normal. And the thing is that I think it is valuable because you have to learn that you have that gear. I think that gives you supreme confidence when you're entering any new endeavor, because you know that you have acquired the trait of being relentless, that you do not relent, you do not let up, you do not stop until you get what you want. And you know that you can push through being tired or being underslept or being overwhelmed because you realize that you didn't die and that you've done this before. And so the difference between the newbie and the veteran is that the veteran looks on something and looks back on what they have done to get to that point and says, I've seen this before. This is another one of those. And that's why they don't have the anxiety. That's why they don't have the stress. That's when they get on stage, they crush it. That's when the high pressure situation, they still breathe normally. Their heartbeat doesn't go up because they have done it before. And the only way that you can get to the point where you can say you've done it before is to do it now. Real quick, if you're a business owner and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information. And if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team and we will look at the business, see if we can help. And if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas and we'll do this in person live.